I never thought I'd buy this laptop, and right from the beginning I was very skeptical about the decisions Apple made, and I actually wanted to buy the previous generation, but with the money you spent on it, I might as well have bought the new one, and that's exactly what I did. I now had it for about 3.5 months, but let's just start with the general information before I tell you if my fears were justified. So this is the late 2016 MacBook Pro 15-inch with Touch Bar. It has the 2.7 GHz Intel Core i7 with 16 GB of RAM, and that is still the maximum you can get, which is kind of a shame. It also has the medium dedicated graphics card called Radeon Pro 455 with 2 GB of memory. So actually a pretty solid machine. Looks wise, and I know many others have said it already, it is the most beautiful laptop you can currently buy. I kind of like the silver one a little bit more, but I was able to get the grey one for a pretty good price, so yeah, I went with it. It has the most stunning seamless unibody housing, and even the hinge is made of aluminum. Incorporated into the housing you'll find a huge trackpad, which really is the best on the market. You won't find any trackpad that works as nicely on any Windows machine, in my opinion. And even though it has palm recognition, it sometimes is troublesome and it will select stuff that you don't really want to select. But that doesn't really bother me too much. A much bigger issue, in my opinion, is the keyboard. It's the so-called butterfly mechanism the keys have, and it means that the keys travel a very small distance. So that means you are basically typing on buttons. In theory, you can build it into much thinner machines because it won't take as much space, but the execution is kind of bad. It took ages for me to get used to it, and to be honest, I'm still not fully used to it. Sometimes I really like it, sometimes it's just a pain in the butt. The issues include that typing on it is extremely loud, and everyone on the train or a plane or any public space actually will hear you typing loud and clear. Also, dust often gets trapped under the keys and they will just get stuck or only respond if you press pretty hard on them. Yes, after some time or a day or two, it will work just fine again, but it happens so often for me. It's just pretty annoying because the typing experience just gets bad. I think they did improve that on newer models, but still, I just don't think that this is acceptable. Above the keyboard, you'll find the Touch Bar, which is the biggest feature on the new MacBooks when they introduced it back in 2016. And it's pretty much useless, for me at least. It shows you all the quick settings for brightness, loudness, but can also display typing suggestions, emojis, website bookmarks, or text controls. I never really use it because I never look down when typing, and it makes everything just a bit slower. Just changing the brightness takes 2 taps on the touch bar, and it's the same with the volume. Opening menus and stuff is just too much work, which could be just done with a single shortcut on the keyboard. They also put the escape button into the touch bar, so no physical button there. And this can also get kind of annoying since the touch bar goes into standby once you watch a video for a longer period of time. So to press escape, you have to wake it up first by tapping on it, and then you can press escape. The AMOLED display used for the touch bar also isn't the sharpest, so you can clearly see the pixels, but that isn't really a problem for me. It also just stayed off several times, and only a restart could help here. I always accidentally touch it when typing, and then I open different websites or different programs, and then my text is gone, which is so annoying. Next to the touch bar, you'll find the fingerprint sensor, which is called Touch ID in Apple's language, but I did find it to be kind of inconsistent. Next to the keyboard, you'll find the speakers, which when they work are actually pretty good. Definitely the best speakers I've ever heard on any laptop. They have a lot of bass, they're really loud and very clear. So I do really kind of dig those speakers, but I did have an issue. The left speaker blew on my MacBook, even though I didn't really push it too much. I don't listen to music that loud, and when I edit videos, I normally carry or wear headphones. So I don't know how it blew, but it did, so I can no longer play any music or sounds with the left speaker because that will just rattle and give strange noises from it, scratching noises. So I turned my music all the way to the right speaker, so that kind of works. It is under warranty at Apple, but they want the machine for about 5 to 7 days and they do not give any replacement unit. And that is the problem for me because I use the laptop for work and it's kind of difficult to manage that not having a computer for 5 to 6 days with which you work every day. So that is kind of sad. Staying on the bottom half of the computer, you won't find any traditional USB port or SD card slot. Just 4 USB-C Thunderbolt 3 ports and one 3.5mm headphone jack. I really didn't like the idea when this computer came out, and really, I still don't. The idea is pretty good because you can now charge it on any port with the included USB-C charger, which sadly doesn't feature MagSafe anymore, and you can also use it for all sorts of things like displays, chargers, drives, external GPUs and more. So I have this adapter from Satechi which adapts all the ports like USB, SD card. It also has 2 USB Type-C ports and also a micro SD port. So it is manageable with that adapter, so you only have to carry one and you can adapt everything, which is kind of cool. But I think Apple should have included an SD card slot. There's no really reason why they didn't include it. There's a lot of space left inside the housing and it's very small as well, so I don't see the reason why they didn't include it. A lot of professionals, videographers, photographers, they still use SD cards, and I don't think they will go away anytime soon because it's just the way cameras work, and I don't think there's any way you can put a USB Type-C connector into a camera or transfer those huge files or video files via Wi-Fi. Let's get to the display. It's a beautiful, extremely sharp and really bright display. It's really color accurate, making it great for video or photo editing. Bezels are also pretty thin and it also has a pretty good anti-reflective cover. I have absolutely no complaints about it. Battery life is okay with normal usage. Heavy usage like video editing does drain pretty fast. Let's get to the software part. It runs on macOS High Sierra and does that really smoothly for me. Editing with the Adobe Creative Cloud isn't a problem at all, and video editing, for which I bought this computer primarily, with Final Cut Pro X works really nicely. I do have to say that I only edit 1080p videos though, so I have yet to find out how it handles 4K video. I do expect it to run nicely though. Sometimes apps just freeze though, or the computer crashes completely. I never had this issue with other MacBooks, so I'm not really sure what's the matter here. Other YouTubers actually had similar issues. So why did I buy this laptop if I don't really like it? It's because I edit all of my videos on Final Cut Pro 10. It's the best editing software in my opinion in terms of efficiency and speed you can edit, and also exporting time. So if I edit a video, I'm so much faster than if I edit on Adobe Premiere. I did try it, but I just couldn't get it, and I think Final Cut Pro is so much better for YouTubers and also people that just need to get out the content as fast as possible. Like, I'm a videographer in my everyday life and I edit very fast on Final Cut 10. I couldn't do it on Adobe Premiere. So that's why I stick with my MacBook Pro. Also, I wanted a laptop that is mobile, where I have everything in one place, because I had the big Mac Pro Tower before and a MacBook Air 11-inch, and I think the MacBook Pro combines them perfectly, because I can go anywhere. I can go into a cafe, I can travel on holiday. I take it everywhere and I have my mobile office with me everywhere. I can edit in the plane, I can edit in the train, so I really dig that, and that's why I have it, and I kind of like it for that. I am, however, really let down by this machine. It just seems really unreliable, and it just has too many issues that a over $3,000 machine should not have. I'm still hoping for software improvements and that my speaker will work finally after the replacement. But from what I've heard or read on the web, it doesn't really seem that likely. The old MacBook just seemed like a more thought out, tougher machine, and the new MacBook just isn't, and it's too inconsistent. But I don't say I don't like the MacBook, it's just that it's kind of a love and hate relationship. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you want to stay updated with the newest videos, also make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below what you think about the MacBook Pro. What are your experiences? Would you buy one? And also make sure to follow me on my social media channels, Instagram and Twitter. You can see them right now. And yeah, I think we'll see us in my next video. See you then. Bye.